Yeah, out of 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Yeah, I took number 1 when I arrived. Yeah, top 5, top 5, top 5, top 5. Ay, yeah, top guy, top guy, top guy, top guy. Ay, yeah, I got me and God, I feel alive. Yeah, heaven told me God is on my side. Yeah, top 5, top 5, top 5, top 5. Ay, yeah, top guy, top guy, top guy, top guy.
Sanmonan Dubilang, this is your boy Prim Heda. Welcome to Lifestyle Training Season 2 Dance Edition. So this edition is very special to me because I'll be covering not only my friends but people that have contributed so much in the dance community. I'm talking about Verb, KK, Preston, Kydzo, Survivor Dance Crew, people that have done so much for Durban as a whole. So we'll be sitting down with them, chatting with them, finding out more and the whole experience and what made them actually start what they did and what impact did they have and where do they see the dance scene in Durban right now. So I just want to say thank you so much for being patient with us. I know we've been away for a long time, but we're back again, baby. We're back to take over everything. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys will get your datas ready. I hope you guys are good and awesome, and I hope you guys are keeping safe at home. Shout out to you guys. Away. What's Preston about? Who's Preston?
Okay, so I don't use the name Preston within the dance world. I am Preston, but as a dancer and as a break dancer, I go by the name Crazy Kydzo. I've been in the breakdancing scene for the past 18 years now. First started out when we were just in primary, like senior primary school. Someone there used to do it. His cousin from Cape Town taught him, and then he came to school. So, hey guys, check all this cool stuff my cousin showed me. And after that, I swear I never knew that breakdancing would just become my life, or breaking, b-boying would become my life. We just used to practice the moves that he would show us every lunch break, every morning just before school started. And I don't know, then the next thing I just started meeting other guys who were into it, other breakers who were into it, and before I knew it, it just became my life.
That's dope, that's dope. So like what is the the highlight of your career? Like if you had to just put it in one event or in anything that stood out?
There's one amazing event. So what happened was in 2012, for me personally, 2012 dance-wise has been my best dancing year in terms of achievement wise. Reason being, I've won some local Durban competitions. I think we hosted Underground Kings. I won Underground Kings 1, I won Underground Kings 2. I also saved up a lot of money, you know, from all the dance work that I've been doing, from corporate work, from classes, and I actually booked myself a ticket to Europe, and I went to Europe for about a month and a half. Met dancers in Europe, connected to a lot of people on the scene. I even entered a small, I think it was maybe like 6 or 8 people, just a small comp. It was a small comp in Switzerland, which I actually won. Actually won a solo breaking comp, but that isn't the highlight. So I'd say my highlights would actually be winning a competition in Reunion Island with my crew, the 031 Floor Assassins. This was in November of 2012. We had an invite to take part in the Battle the Ocean, Indian Ocean champs. But I mean, they're French, everything's a little bit backwards. What actually happened was it was a 4 versus 4, and then our crew had an invite to represent South Africa. We went against other people from the Indian Ocean, Mayotte, Madagascar, Seychelles, Reunion, and just the whole experience itself just felt like a fairy tale. I mean, we tried many times to try and get our visa, but it was very difficult because the main consulate was in Joburg. So the 4 of us literally booked, because time was running out to get our flight, so the 4 of us literally booked a one-way ticket to Joburg, not knowing if we're going to get our visas, not knowing if we're going to go on this flight. We literally went to Joburg with our bags packed. There's a crew, we don't know what's going on. Literally as soon as we got there, we were there in Sandton with all our luggage, walking through Sandton to go to this visa place. We then waited 3 days. On the Friday, our visa was ready. On the Saturday, we went to Reunion Island. We got there like Saturday evening. Because it's very humid there, so we were also just training, just try breaking the air. On Sunday was the competition. We versed all the best crews from Reunion. We versed all the best crews, our first time as a crew traveling, and we won 2012 Indian Ocean champions. And just that whole experience, that whole trip, I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, someone named their baby after me. There's a baby Kydzo in Reunion Island right now. So that whole experience is unforgettable. Just the fact that We've traveled overseas as a crew for our first time. We represented our country, and we actually did justice that side. So
that's really crazy, man. Like, you guys have done so much. I didn't even know what you're saying. I just know you won the Red Bull people.
Oh yeah, the Beast One qualifiers. Yeah.
Last year, I'm not too sure, or the year before that. But like in terms of the scene in Durban, because you guys have like actually traveled out and you guys have done so much overseas. Like, in terms of the dance scene in Durban, like where do you see the breakdancing going? What direction is it taking? Because let's be honest, like we are all dancers and we all suffer one thing here in Durban. There's people don't take, I won't say don't actually pay much attention to dancing, but like it's so hard. We actually struggle. We struggle to get our names out there more than Joburg people, but us here Durban people or Cape Town people. But us Durban, we have such a hard time. So how does that affect the B-boy committee?
So I find that a very difficult question to answer. Reason being, if you mention the word dance anywhere in South Africa, a lot of people will firstly think Cape Town, mostly because a lot of the big hitters are there within all styles, from hip hop to popping to breaking to crumping, you know. Although I would say Durban, I think we've got the best crumpers. They're here in Durban. We got the best. Even I know that we got the best. So it's very difficult, as you say, trying to compare such a small city like Durban, which isn't really seen as a dance city, comparing it to Joburg, comparing it to Cape Town. But definitely it played a part, us having to sort of take ourselves out. I mean, we didn't really know how well we were going to do or how we were going to stand, but we just did it because it's like, we love this dance, we want to represent ourselves, we want to represent our crew and our city. Let's just go out there, let's just bite the bullet and see what happens, you know. And the dance scene in Durban, it has potential. It has a lot of potential. I mean, over my 18 years, I've been doing classes, I've been doing workshops, we've been hosting sessions. You know, we host sessions we used to host sessions at the beach on Sunday. Just with COVID going around, things have been a bit crazy. And the potential is there. The problem we have is a lack of numbers. We lack the amounts of people in the b-boy scene. So there's not enough people actually doing it, which first makes it a little bit hard. So whenever we host competitions, you're always kind of seeing the same names and the same lineups. And the reason is because we don't know of anyone else. Transport is actually quite difficult, it's quite tricky. I mean, some guys are staying in Umlazi side, some people are staying in Wentworth side, some people, and just to like get around and always to try and meet. Even though Durban's a bit small, it's hard for everyone to always meet in one place. I'd probably say the biggest reason why we can't do this is space, venue. We don't have a proper venue. We have to go to the beach on a Sunday and go and train. If it's raining, then we're stuffed. You know, there used to be a spot in Flodder that I used to like going to. It had this nice smooth concrete and this nice covering. I can't go there now because they went and put a whole flippin' chair and table right in the middle. So that was like my spots. I used to like, what am I doing? I mean, Florida, hey, let me just go and bust a few moves here. Just be out in the open, let people see that, hey, someone just breakdancing, you know? So people like, because people walk by and like, wow, what is that? Like, they would only think that this is in the music videos. They think this is only in the movies. They think that this is all camera tricks. So that's why I'm like, no, this is real. This is our lives. This is what we do. I can teach you guys. You want to learn? I'll show you right now. You know, so I've always been trying to like open people's minds to, firstly, one, breaking is difficult, but it doesn't have to be. As long as you just apply yourself and put your mind to it. So I've been trying to help people break that concept of you need to be strong to be a good b-boy. No, you just need to be able to dance. You need to be able to move. So the first problem is lack of people. Second problem is lack of venue. Third problem is also lack of understanding of what the dance is. A lot of people still think b-boying is some street dance and we must be on the street and dance. Yeah, it did come from there, but it's developed. I mean, as our crew, Floor Assassins, we've also done theatre shows, you know, where we've taken breakdancing and we've mixed it with contemporary. I mean, Bizzo and I, we've even flown with the Flatfoot Dance Company to Zimbabwe for an arts festival. We went and mixed breaking with contemporary. It's just a different art form and different way of moving. That's all it is. So I'd probably say those are like the main factors: lack of people, lack of venue, lack of lack of people, lack of venue, lack of understanding of what it is that we do. Yeah. So for me, what also makes it difficult is trying to conform to what the dance industry wants within Durban. They're not really for the b-boys because there aren't a lot of b-boys. So whenever I do a lot of like this work, it's sometimes for mixing it with cabaret dancers, and now we must go dance at some casino like half naked, like with just like no shirt and some vest on, and people aren't even paying attention to us. I'm like, this feels weird. Or now I must work with some other random sort of company or performance just so we get like 5 or 6 seconds just to do what we want to do. And they always put us in these weird, tight, strange clothes. But we need the work, so we do it. You know, so I'd probably say that's also where it gets a little bit hard, you know, is actually, and that for me falls under people not having a full understanding of what it is that we do. Sometimes someone might come to me and then start like, oh, you breakdance, oh, so you do all of that. It's like, no, I don't do that. That's pop-in. That's pop-in. That's pop-in and lock-in is its own thing. So I'd probably say, yeah, those are definitely the problems that we have within the scene. Whether it's going to get better,
do you think it will get better?
To be honest, realistically right now, no, I don't. Especially with COVID-19 going on. It's going to be extremely hard to go out and actually connect with people and to actually session like the way that we used to. And I feel by doing those sessions out in the open was also the way that we used to reach out to people. Sometimes people just see us like, oh, what is that? Oh, you guys are breaking. Yo, I've always wanted to learn this, you know? Or sometimes we might just be doing our thing and then someone's like, oh, cool, I actually need breakdancers for a gig or something, you know? And at the moment, if we're not out there doing our dancing, no one's gonna know that it's here and that it's happening, you know? And the reason we also can't do that is because we don't have space. And right now, I just don't really see, I mean, us getting a lot of new faces. And if we do get a lot of new people, new faces, it's gonna take a long time for them to actually get their level to where it needs to be so that they can also do what we've been doing and going out to other cities and traveling and battling and connecting, you know?
So don't you think, let's say, because you see how everything's going around right now, and don't you think like our arts and culture or any government institution can actually help the dance community, or do you think they don't pay attention to it?
As far as I know, and just within my experience of personally working with the Wentworth Arts and Culture Organization, they've hosted a lot of arts festivals. They've hosted events at the not the workshop, sorry, at the Playhouse. They've hosted performances at the Playhouse, hosted small little sort of like dance festival vibes and trying to incorporate other dances. And I've seen a lot of work and a lot of effort that's been put in just to sort of have a stage and a platform and performance for dancers like us, hip-hop dancers, underground dancers, street dancers, so to speak, just to sort of showcase our talent so we don't have to be fighting with theaters and fighting with, you know, all these other contemporary and like cabaret and pin-up and tap dancers. And from that experience, what I've also noticed over the years and seeing this happen, there has been very, very little support from the arts and culture department. Very, very little from all of those little things that I've seen. Maybe they are involving themselves somehow in some way, maybe at the Catalina Theatre, maybe at the Playhouse Theatre for specific events and functions, but not in my experience for local talents and for local artists, which is what we need the most.
So for you person, last question, like for you person, somebody who's actually up and coming and they want to pursue breakdancing, and what is the advice that you can actually give a young person, because you never know who might be watching this, you know what I mean? So what is a young person that you can actually motivate them with in terms of when it comes to this art form? Like what is one thing you can say that can encourage them, that can make them push and want to pursue?
I can say a few things. As an artist myself, I've involved myself in a lot of different like art forms, like, you know, like drawing, music, photo, photography, videography, dancing. So dance is just an element. And for anyone trying to get into dancing, or specifically breakdancing, the first thing I'm going to say is don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to get hurt. Don't be afraid to mess up. It's going to happen. It's going to happen with probably almost everything that you do at some point. You're going to mess up, you're going to make a mistake. A lot of people will try and move when I first show them, like, oh, I can't do it, so I'm just going to give up. It's like, no, you can't do it right now. But if you keep putting some time into it, just some focus, and just have a little bit each day goes a long way. So if you're really trying to get into it, the first thing is, no dream is too big. If you see yourself on so you think you can dance stage performing, no dream is too big, you can achieve it. The second thing I would say is try find like-minded people. If you're going to be around people who don't really like to achieve much, who just like to chill and just like to sit back and who don't like to talk about ideas, you're going to become one of those people. If you want to be someone that has the same drive that you have, you're going to achieve with this person. So firstly, don't give up, believe in yourself. Secondly, try find like-minded people to help motivate you, to also get you to where you want to be. Don't be afraid to reach out. Normally in any field, actually not normally, in any field right now, there are going to be beginners, there are going to be experts, there are going to be OGs. Don't be afraid to reach out to any of those people if you need some advice. anyone, I've always told anyone, they can always ask me if they need some advice with help with the move, or if they just need like, hey, how's my moves looking? Or hey, I need some advice on this, or hey, can you help give me some understanding on this? Don't ever be afraid to reach out. There's some people that I look up to, they're OGs, and I'm also like, hey, should I, shouldn't I? Like, nah, man, it's about the arts, it's about the culture. I'm just trying to learn more, I'm just trying to increase my knowledge. And I'll just say, hey, look, I just need some advice or some help about this. And that's helped my understanding a lot, So try and find your community for whatever it is that you want to be going into. If you want to become a ballet dancer, find a ballet community. If you want to be a break dancer, find a break. If you want to be a crumper, find the crump community.
Like life, I guess.
So believe in yourself, don't give up, find like-minded people, and don't be afraid to ask questions and to seek knowledge.
So yeah, man, Preston, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for pulling through what you just said. It's not only just applies in breakdancing, but I think it applies in life itself. And
definitely.
I mean, like, you guys have done so much. I look up to you guys. That's why I actually want you guys to be here, being part of what we're doing, because it's some of these things people need to know. The new generation needs to find that and know exactly who laid the foundation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you guys, unfortunately, did lay the foundation. 10 years in, you know what I'm saying? You guys have a decade, so like it's an honor to hear someone like you and your caliber and things that you've done, to be here and telling us and telling the people that are actually watching that they can do anything. And so I just want to thank you for putting
thank you.
It means a lot. So thank you so much, Preston. If people, the handles, can find you again, where people can find you, where people can...
So I've got a Facebook page, just Crazy Kydzo. You can always just go on that one, or you can even just go into my main page, Preston Kydzo Kid, KYD. So between those two, you can always link up. And then otherwise, also on my Instagram at the Fantastic Mr. Fox, and it's _@the_fantastic_Mr_Fox_. And for me, Instagram has always been a kind of like an online sort of portfolio. So that will have a whole list of, I'll have some of my music production stuff, I'll have some of my drawings, I'll have some of my training sessions, I'll have some photos and videos. So it's just a whole collection of just artistic stuff that I've just done over the years. So between Instagram, then Crazy Kydzo on Facebook, or Preston Kydzo Kid on Facebook, then you can always find me. Or Crazy Kydzo on YouTube. I've got a lot of YouTube videos. Just go Crazy Kydzo on YouTube, there's a whole ton there.
Definitely, shout out, guys. Yep.